Your Excellency, Luigi Bianco, the Apostolic Nuncio to Uganda, Most Reverend Paul Semogerere, the Archbishop Kampala Archdiocese, and all the Archbishops present, the Right Reverend Anthony Ziwa, the Chairperson of Uganda Episcopal Conference, and the Bishop of Chinda Diocese, and all your brother bishops present. The first white man, Huntington Speke, came in 1862. The Anglicans came in 1877, and the Catholics came in 1879. These new people brought different angles of looking at God. The indigenous religions also believed in Ruhanga, Nyamuhanga, or Katonda, or Wobutunzi, but they were believed in ancestral spirits, i.e., Emizimu, Emizangwa, which the experts should talk about. Our societies, however, had not heard of Jesus or Muhammad and the elucidation they brought on this matter. It was therefore wrong for Mwanga to want to kill this new perspective about the supernatural realm. It is good that the young boys and some girls, I am told, were ready to give up their lives for the freedom of worship, for the new perspective the new religions have brought. This is what all and sundry should know about the Africans of this area. They can sacrifice for the legitimate causes they believe in. Indeed, a few days from now, on the 9th of June, we shall be celebrating not only martyrs, but martyrs and heroes that faced Basilio Okello in the village of Chikandwa in 1981. Lutamaguzi, Edidian, their leader, told them, Temula Jana, do not lament. In the old Banyankole Bahoro culture, it was common for one to commit suicide, kuita, rather than kuhemuka, to betray others or incur shame. Therefore, we, the ancient people of this land, believe in freedom of worship and not coercing people to believe in this or that, as long as they do not break the law. We also believe in separating denominational issues from government issues, which are for all the citizens and even non-citizens that find themselves in Uganda. Good enough, Jesus helped us in the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 17. He said, "Give unto God what is God's, and unto Caesar what is Caesar's." What then are Caesar's issues in our times? The NRM identified 3 historical missions and 4 ideological principles. These are to create prosperity for all Ugandans through all adults engaging in producing a good or a service that they sell and get money to enhance their prosperity, strategic security for the whole of Africa, and using the Alupo these three historical missions, the next question comes in. And the question is, if all the adults become wealth creators instead of being idlers and beggars, whereby they all produce goods and services, who will buy these products and services? Are the tribal areas, markets, and denominational groups, markets big enough to guarantee us a lucrative selling space? History and common sense show us that tribal and sectarian markets are not big enough to guarantee our prosperity. The national market of Uganda will do it better. Hence, our ideological principle, number one, became patriotism. Love Uganda. Why? It is because you need it for your prosperity as a market for your goods and services. However, we soon found even the market of Uganda is not big enough to guarantee our prosperity. Now that Uganda has settled down, we have surplus production of very many products, including milk, bananas, beef, maize, cement, steel products, sugar, blankets, tires, commercial explosives, ceramic tiles, industrial starch, etc., etc. Where do we sell this surplus? The NRM comes in with an answer. You have heard of East Africa. Have you heard of Africa? They can buy all your surplus. Hence, the second ideological principle of Pan-Africanism. Love Africa. Why? It is because you need it for your prosperity. Then we add other two principles of social economic transformation and democracy. Your Excellency, therefore, our constant advice to Ugandans is never to mix politics with denominational loyalties. Politics is about our welfare on earth. Denominations and religion are about spirituality on earth and life after in heaven. Which aspect the religious leaders can speak better about? Coming to the religious groups, harmony, the country and citizens' contribution as a former president of the Spiritual Union, 1965 to 1966, I like to quote the parable of the Good Samaritan, found in the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 30 to 35. And it says, I open quotes, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho. When he was attacked by robbers, they stripped him of his clothes, beat him and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. Likewise, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. I am told that the Samaritans were receiving the Jews for the reasons known to themselves. However, the Samaritan helped the injured man, while his fellow Jews were also religious leaders a Pharisee and a Levite, passed by him. Bakamura Bako. Jesus praised the Samaritan, which reinforces another religious teaching, which says that we shall know them by their fruits. We shall judge them by their actions. Coming to religious harmony, I like to quote the Church of Uganda prayer book on page 207, and it says, "Let your light so shine before men that they see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven." Do not attack other religions to prove that you are the only agents of God on the earth. Influence people by example. In the bush, I live very closely with the peasants where you have Catholics, Kijabuzo, Kasana, etc., Anglicans, Kirema, Ufu, Busunju, Timuna, etc., Batwanga, Balokole, etc., Muslims, Kangabe, Kaumu, etc., and the traditional religion everywhere. Indeed, most of the Christians and Muslims were also believers in the traditional religion. We united all of them around the knowledge of science. A bullet kills while prayers help, and murmuring, a reed held by a fighter is not protection against bullets. That is how our prominent Mayembist, the magic phone manager, Rogovinko Galimpitawa of Mijenje said, "Emundu tetea Mayembe." The gun is not deterred by magic phones. However, you could see that a number of times there was divine intervention. This confirms our ancestors saying, "Lubare mera, nembiro otade." God helps those who help themselves. This year, the government gave the Catholics 2 billion, the Protestants 2 billion, and the Muslims 200 million for this occasion. I have directed the government to make this contribution part of the government budget annually, since many Ugandans participate. As you all know, the government spent billions modernizing this infrastructure you see today at both the Catholic and the Protestant sites. When the Muslims are ready, we shall also support them, because I am told some Muslim followers were also killed by Mwanga. May God bless all of you. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellency, before the next time when we come back to celebrate the 3rd of June, we shall expect that all the Christian, Muslims, and all the people of Uganda will have already demonstrated their support. His Excellency, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in the January general elections. Thank you very much for your kind attention.